In our last video, we told you what you must know if you're going to be thin long term. Real weight loss starts in the mind. Now maybe you know this, but the gulf between knowing and practicing it is the gulf between you and the thinner, healthier, happier you waiting to come out. And it's not about your brain power or willpower necessarily. The world is full of chubby runners and after-work gym rats who burn 500 calories in a Zumba class, then treat themselves to 2,000 calories of margaritas and sliders after, as a reward. Weight is lost in the kitchen, not the gym. And if you're eating out regularly and moving seldom, not even puer can save you. Please don't blame the tea and go looking for a quick fix that will let you make poor diet choices but still lose weight. Surely you know those fixes, besides the money down the drain, are at best temporary and at worst dangerous. So instead, let's acknowledge the huge role our subconscious has on our actions, including eating choices. You know, every one of us has unresolved emotions connected to formative experiences. Every one of us has a shadow side that seeks the short-term dopamine boost and damn the consequences. Just be happy if your way of dealing with those impulses is only to eat instead of overindulging in sex and drugs. Even if sex and drugs are on your agenda, there is a way to deal with these impulses, to deal with the endless emotional pulses our bodies and brains send us, to deal with the unconscious triggers that keep us trapped, that keep us unhealthy and overweight. Now forget the psychoanalysis, it's too slow and expensive. Religion won't serve here either. There are worthier things to pray for than a slimmer waistline. Mindfulness is the key to long-term weight loss and happiness. Now the term mindfulness is kind of ironic. You see, being mindful means being aware of your mind and that you are more than your mind. Maybe you're saying, sure, I know, the superego and all that. But again, the gap between knowing something and applying that knowledge is the gap between the you who is looking for answers and the you who is the answer. Because let's face it, we spend a lot of time caught up in the theater of our minds, going over scripts of past hurts, re-experiencing painful emotions, listening to our anxieties babble at us. The more time you spend fully engaged in that theater of the mind, the less energy and power you have to stay positive and avoid the pull of bad habits. Identifying with your mind theater is also illogical. If you're sad, you're caught up in theater from your past. If you're anxious, you're caught up in theater from your future. So here's the big question. Can you accept what Eckhart Tolle, quantum physics, and all those social media quotes tell us? Can you accept that the past is a memory and the future a dream, that neither is real, that there is only now? If you can, then the more you can relax and just observe what your mind is doing, and the more mindful you are. And as your mindfulness grows, the theater and scripts in your mind have less and less effect on your mental and emotional state. You become more engaged in what is happening right now. And that's where the magic starts. Because that presence is freeing and calming and utterly empowering for your weight loss. No more getting caught up in your cravings. Once you're mindful, you can simply let that urge for a pint of Haagen-Dazs just float over you. A brilliant commercial produced by the theater of the mind. Sometimes the urges, as well as past hurts or truly deep traumas, don't just float past. Sometimes they're storms, but if you're mindful, you acknowledge them and go through them. And soon enough, you're taking more and more actions based on what the true you wants, a thinner, healthier body, not what the mind wants, which is to have you dancing around to its 1,000 tunes. So let's come full circle and talk about becoming mindful with a pu-erh tea ritual. Maybe you're wondering how being mindful is any different from meditating. Meditating is the path to mindfulness. For very patient or spiritually dedicated people, meditating can be the path to complete enlightenment. Rest assured though, simply developing your mindfulness will have profound effects on your ability to lose weight and the amount of joy and peace you experience on a day-to-day, moment-to-moment basis. The challenge lies in making meditation a daily habit. Sitting cross-legged and trying to think of nothing is tough. So is watching the breath, chanting mantras, all the traditional ways of getting ourselves away from ourselves. all accept the tea ritual. The school of Zen Buddhism knows that simple arts are effective methods of meditation, like archery or bonsai. But before those, going back to before China brought tea to Japan, there's the tea ritual. Performing a tea ritual is pure simplicity, yet it requires enough focus that you don't have to face the challenge of doing nothing. And because you're drinking tea, you're doing both your mind and body a great service. A service that will make you much lighter, mentally and physically. If you'd like to learn how to set up your own tea ritual and get the maximum effects for weight loss and happiness, simply click the button and leave us your email. The course is 100% free.